Joined by First Things First co-host Chris Broussard. Chris, in your opinion, how does this play out?
Well, Jen, as you know, predicting what Kyrie Irving's going to do is dangerous territory. All right? So, but if you force me to pick an answer, I believe ultimately he'll get the vaccination. For the same reasons that Andrew Wiggins got it. Because at the end of the day, your back is against the wall, and if you want to play basketball, you know, more than half the season, if you want to get that $16 million out of your full $35 million contract, then you're going to play. So I think that's what will happen. I have been told, talking to some people, that Kyrie's given the Nets indications, reason to believe, not a definitive answer, but indications and reasons for them to believe in the past week or so that he would get vaccinated, and they're a little, you know, baffled that he's not vaccinated yet. So they don't know what he's going to do. Again, educated guess from just talking with people around the league, this is not a report. I think if he doesn't get vaccinated, I feel like they're going to start the season with him playing road games in the hopes that eventually and fairly soon he would go ahead and get vaccinated. Now, what would I do if I'm the Nets and he doesn't get vaccinated? My number one option would be to trade him for Ben Simmons to Philadelphia. And Ben Simmons is Seth Curry, because I want some shooting back since you're getting Kyrie Irving. It's my problem for your problem. I think it potentially could make each team better. And you don't want to make Philly better, but it is what it is. If for some reason Kyrie threatening to retire or whatever it might be, you can't make a trade, then I sit down with Kyrie and I tell him, we're going to give you a COVID exemption. As the Nets, we're giving you a COVID exemption. So can't play home games. Don't play road games either. Just stay away from the team, because that's the only way he won't be a distraction. If he plays road games, every game, literally, it's going to be questions about, wow, they're on the road for 3 games. Isn't it great to have Kyrie? How much different is it with Kyrie? Man, the offense looks smooth. Then he's not there for a home game. Would you have won this game, you think, if Kyrie had been? It's just, it would never end. Yep. And so I would give him a COVID, just stay away, and it lasts until either you get vaccinated, until New York changes its law, or your contract ends at the end of the season. Because Skip and Shannon, I don't think that, as good as the Nets are, I don't think you can win a championship with Kyrie bouncing in and out of the lineup, especially in the playoffs. You need chemistry, you need continuity, you need roles defined, rotations defined, and that's impossible with him popping in and out of the lineup. We saw a few years ago with the Clippers, remember? When Kawhi was out for load management, it caused problems in the locker room with morale, and they just didn't have the chemistry, and we saw in the playoffs, it came back to bite them. So I would try to do that, and I feel like, guys, the Nets can win a championship with or without Kyrie. They might not be as much of a favorite without him, but I think Harden and Durant and a nice cast of role players could win the championship, because their best unit, it was a small sample size, but when it was just Harden and KD last year, they outscored teams by plus 15. When it was all 3 of them, another small sample size, they outscored them by less than 9 points a game. Kyrie, as great as he is, and I might be in the minority in saying I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, he doesn't have a huge impact on winning. He's clutch, but look at Boston, or the Nets in his first year there when he played 20 games. They were 8-12 with him, 27-25 without him, and made the playoffs. Go to Boston. Without him, they pushed LeBron to 7 games in Eastern Conference Finals without him. With him, they go out meekly in 5 games to the Bucks in the second round. So I think they could win it without Kyrie. So if I'm the Nets, I'm getting rid of the distraction. If I can't trade you, don't play all season until you get vaccinated.
Before you go, Shannon,
Great.
Are you talking about a paid COVID, what did you call it?
Exemption.
Exemption or
exemption, COVID exemption.
Paid or unpaid?
I think Yeah, I think it would have to be paid.
All right,
I hate to say it, but
what you man?
no, he wouldn't get paid for home games, but because he's unavailable. But for road games, I probably would have to pay him, which I wouldn't want to. But I can't have him popping in and out of the lineup. Regular season, it'd be fine. They're going to be great in the regular season, but in the playoffs?
No. First of all, it's already hard to trust him because you never know when he wakes up one morning and says, you know what, I'm not going to practice. I'm going to take me a week off for whatever reason, for whatever the case may be. Because we've seen this before. We've seen him last year take off, not tell the team, not tell the management, not tell anybody anything. They're asking them questions, where's Kyrie? Well, I don't know. So, first of all, my grandmother always say, boy, you never reward negative behavior. The moment a child starts to act bad and you give them a treat, what have you reinforced? That negative behavior. Kyrie Irving, if he's not going to get vaccinated, I'm going to say, Kyrie, look, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do this. This is not your team. We appreciate you coming here and making us viable, getting KD to join you. But if you do not have the vaccine by this day, we are going to move on without you. We are going to trade you. That's what I'm going to do. Because I agree with you.
But what if you can't? What if you can't? Because another team, do they want those problems?
Yeah, they want them. Philly take it. Philly take him straight up for Ben Simmons.
Okay, I'm with you there. But I don't think he's going to be easy to trade other than maybe Ben Simmons.
Yeah, I traded for Ben Simmons. Because the thing is, for all the reasons that you mentioned, Chris, every game, guess what they're going to ask KD? Not KD had 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, and James Harden had a 30-point triple-double. Kyrie. You think Kyrie's going to get the vaccine? Have you talked to Kyrie about getting the vaccines? Do you understand? You guys got a chance to do something really special if you had Kyrie. Kyrie, man. And I'm telling you, at some point in time, if the relationship is sour, you get tired of people asking you about the other party, Skip. Well, I told you we not together. Now stop asking me about it. And that's how this situation is going to get with Kyrie, Skip. They're going to get tired of getting asked questions about it.
Yep.
And they're going to have to, the Nets are going to have to make a decision. But if I'm the Nets, if he doesn't get vaccinated by this certain date, I got to move on.
All right, Chris, back to you. I'm going to ask you another dangerous Kyrie question because it's just impossible to answer. But you know New Jersey because you live in New Jersey. I'm not exactly sure where Kyrie's hometown is. How close is it to Philly? Is it closer to Philly than it is to New York?
Kyrie lives right next to me. That's very town over. It's the same general neighborhood.
Okay.
He is about an hour and a half from Philly.
Okay.
About an hour and a half, hour 40, something like that.
And from Brooklyn, from that hometown, would be an hour, maybe?
I mean, you know, traffic in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take, it's at least an hour.
Okay, I got it. So do you think that Kyrie would be willing to play in Philly for the Sixers?
See, that's I don't think Kyrie wants to be traded. We know why he came to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He lives literally in the same town, like his old neighborhood.
Yep.
I don't think he wants to be traded. And there's talk. Nick Wright, my partner on FS1, has said he's been told that Kyrie's put it out there that he'll retire if he is traded.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying that's my plan A if he's unvaccinated, but I need a plan B if he's scaring teams off with that.
Okay. Now, back to the first thing that you said, that you've been told that he's sort of leaning at least toward getting vaccinated sooner than later, but the Nets are saying, well, when sooner?
Exactly.
Okay. And the Durant quote yesterday